is Krista.
Hey, Crystal. Catherine. Hey, Kathy. And I'm Janera. Hey, Janera.
Hi. Well, our group decided that we wanted to focus on something that in which we could all relate and have seen someone experience. Just by the show of hands, how many of you guys have experienced a friend who has dropped out of school due to a crime or to any other reason? Exactly. So we can all kind of relate to this. Our question was, does crime in school affect the dropout rate?
As a group, we came to a conclusion to survey people in Harlem. And our idea to the survey was anonymous and less time consuming.
So everyone here knows what a PAR project is, right? For those, what is it? It's a participant action and research project, and that's what we decided to do. We chose it so we can have a more active role in the results that we have and the community. So we want to basically make the community better.
Okay, when we talk about crime, we talk about mentally and physically like crimes. So the type of crimes we see in high schools now is bullying, gangs, alcohol, drug use, shooting, physical fights, and verbal fights. Okay, looking at this picture, who can tell me what they think or how they feel about this picture? Anyone? Raise their hand.
Don't all fire at once.
What do you think about the picture?
Yes.
It's disturbing
Why?
because we used to watch out for kids and now we're watching out for guns and other signs of trouble. I feel very unsafe.
Anyone know?
Yeah, I think it's like trying to say that most kids are dangerous in a way. So like they're trying to like keep a keen eye for dangerous kids so that I don't know, just to keep an eye on them.
I don't know.
It seems that like the posters are the same, but instead for the word kids, they substituted for the word sign of trouble. So as if kids equal trouble.
I think this is saying how society used to be and how it is now. Like it used to be safe way back when, and now it's more dangerous.
Yeah. Well, all of what you guys said does relate to this because I mean, back then, the main focus was getting an education, and now our main focus is we have to watch out for our lives and make sure that no one's gonna attack us in some kind of way.
So we did surveys and like we decided to go to Harlem and fill it out. Usually when you approach people to ask them questions about a survey or to fill one out, they act like you're trying to steal their identity or something. Like they're so nervous and scared to do it, but really it's anonymous, so I don't understand why, but yeah, they have that type of reaction.
Okay, as we know, in Harlem there are many Hispanic people, so they were like nervous and sometimes they didn't know any English. So I translated the survey, and sometimes they were like they didn't want to answer, but sometimes they were really cool. So mostly the Spanish speaking people were the ones that talked to me.
Most people, it was really hard to approach them because they were walking really fast and they didn't want to pay any mind to us.
So we had 23 surveys completed, and out of 16, those were the people who dropped out. Surprisingly, we assumed that most of the dropouts would be because of violence, but really it was other reasons like pregnancy and lack of interest in other stuff.
Although many people like they didn't drop out because of crime, they said that they knew someone who dropped out because of crime.
I like to read one quote. In one of our sources, in 2007, there were 1.5 million students aged 12 to 18 who were victims of non-fatal crimes in school. These crimes included things like theft, fighting, etc. Just for the sake of comparison, there were 1.1 million students of that same age range who were victims of non-fatal crimes outside of school. So you guys can see the difference, how it has evolved. In analyzing the issue, we wonder if the contradictions are a response of either the lack of awareness from our communities or the media might exaggerate the present issue. Meaning, for example, like as we as a community not know about this issue, or is the media either kind of like they're exaggerating about this and saying, oh, it's a little too much, and you know. Do you guys understand? Okay, cool. There's a video that we wanted to show you guys.
The resourced communities have been ignored for too long. And so we must have community engagement to save these kids, especially when they're younger, get them started right.
I found a piece here from the Asian Pacific Americans for Progress website. They refer to a Philadelphia Weekly article looking at this issue of what's going on in South Philly schools, anti-Asian violence in South Philadelphia schools, it's called, and it looks at how Asian American students who attend schools there were being racially targeted by both African American and white peers.
And you know, this is a sad truth about young people. They sometimes feel bigger themselves if they can put somebody else down, and so they will gang up and turn on another group that seems different than them. And the only way through this is, again, aggressive education, aggressive community engagement, and to try to change the culture and change the spirit. But it has to start young, and we have to get into the grade schools and the middle schools first, and then those young people will be stronger, filled with more self-confidence and more self-respect by the time they get to high school.
Marguerite Kondracki, James writes to us on Twitter, and I guess that's something that you've been touching on throughout the program this morning. He asks, is anyone asking why they're dropping out of schools?
Yes, and we did do focus groups, and we continue to have the youth voice as part of our movement. In fact, we have young people at our summit introducing the major speakers, and we do believe that peer counseling can make a big difference. So the young people are saying 2 or 3 things. First, nobody cares if I go to school. Second, school is boring. Those are the 2 biggest things of all. And then third is simple economics. Kids feel like they have to drop out and help with family economics, and they don't realize how they're shortchanging their future, and really staying in school is the best secret to breaking the poverty cycle for their family. But being bored in school, this is calling for more rigor and relevance in the classroom, inviting stronger discipline in terms of civil society within the schools, better teachers, better principals, more exciting curriculum, business community coming in to show how the world of school connects to the world of work. And then it's got to be with peer counseling. Those young people who do see the right path can help influence their peers.
Indianapolis, David, Democratic caller. Hi there.
Well, good morning.
Hi, David.
This is one of my passionate issues, so if you'll bear with me for a moment. There's so much I want to say, but I want to pose a comment and then ask a question of you, President Kondracki.
Okay, well that's
for my.
Okay, so let me just break it down for you. The first thing she was talking about is how in the school, both the whites and the blacks as a clique ganged up on the Asians at school because both felt like they had power and they wanted to feel even powerfuler, so they ganged up on them. And so that's just an example of how students have kind of used violence and crimes to get what they wanted. And then the second thing she was talking about was how school has become one of the things where we as students find it extremely boring, and what she's saying is that we should, well not we, but they should start making school more interesting and more open about what we want to do and how it relates from school to work. and we couldn't finish hearing the call, but this man was asking why couldn't we use well, basically he was saying why can't we hit children to get them to do work, and that's something that I wanted you guys to hear, but I couldn't. Yeah. Well, that's about it.